Welcome back to the Swang Low Podcast Show. It is yours truly, Do Rock Cree. What's happening with all my people out there in the free world today? It is an absolute pleasure to be back here at this round table amongst my round table family, man. I salute all of y'all that come and join me each and every time I call up on y'all to do so. Welcome back for another crazy prison story. Now, this is the story about Old Man Andy. Now, I believe I probably have talked about Old Man Andy on this show before, right? But I haven't talked to y'all in full detail about this gentleman, right? Now, this dates back probably in the year 2016 to 2017, right? Old Man Andy got there, I believe, in like 2016. Okay, and I don't know where he came from, but he was an old man, 72 years old, in a wheelchair. Um, been in prison like 50 something years, right? 50 something years. Okay, now um, the way that his way of thinking was, you can tell that it was still lost in the days when he first got locked up, and it's easy for you to get stuck in that mind frame of when you got locked up, because that is the end of your regular civilian life as a free person. So whatever you was in that moment, you're gonna always try to hold on to that person. You know what I'm saying? To keep your identity. But at the same time, the realization of what your growth is supposed to be from that person to however long you spend in prison, it's supposed to define you into the next level. It's like leveling up. You know what I'm saying? But you're leveling up in life. You're supposed to. Well, anyway, old man Andy, man, like I said, 72 years old, been in prison 50 something years, in a wheelchair, gray hair, old, little shriveled up old man, right? But he's a BGF. He's a certified BGF. Now his origins originally is out of Watts, right? I didn't know that until further on down the line when an incident happened with him. Now I'm gonna try to run through these incidents as fast as I can because I don't want to hold y'all up too long. I understand people got things to do, people got work to get to. You know what I'm saying? People just getting off work trying to fight through that traffic to get back to the house. I get it, so I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. So anyway, yeah, old man Andy get to New Corcoran Sat FC yard in 2016, right? He's in the cell by himself. So being that he wasn't a crip, I didn't make it like my business or a purpose to go introduce myself to him, get to know him and all this and that, right? I just bypassed him at every chance that I could get because I was hearing things about him, right? And I was just trying to preserve my energy. You know what I'm saying? Now, anyway, he noticed that the old man wasn't old, senile, and crazy. He just played that way at certain times to his benefit, right? That's what I learned about him. So anyway, I remember this one day, somebody come tell me, "Hey, old man Andy said he want to holler at you." So I'm like, "Old man Andy," and it's the old man. So I'm like, what do he want to holler at me about? That's what I'm asking myself in my head, right? So finally, I make my way over there. He's standing on his door waiting on me. He's standing inside his cell on his door waiting on me, right? Inside the cell, door locked. So bam, I'm like, hey, you told somebody you wanted to holler at me? He said, yeah, your name Creep, ain't it? I said, yeah. So he like, yeah, man, somebody came and told me you been going out to the yard speaking on me. So I was like, somebody told you I've been speaking on you. I don't even know who you are, OG. What's your name? Right? He like, Mr. Anderson. So I'm like, oh, okay. You the one they call Andy. Yeah, 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 that's me. That's me. Yeah, somebody said you've been going out to the yard speaking on me, man. What's happening? Right? That's how he talking to me. So I said, look, again, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I said, have me and you ever had a conversation? He like, no, that's why I'm trying to figure out why you going out to the yard speaking on me for. So I'm like, listen, OG, I'm not speaking on you. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just now learning your name. Like, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? He like, your name Creep, ain't it? I said, yeah. He like, yeah, they told me you've been going out speaking on me. I said, look, I said, is you a Crip? He said, nah. I said, okay, so why would I have any purpose on speaking on you at all? Period. If you're not a Crip, I'm not tripping like that, right? He's like, no, I ain't no goddamn Crip, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, so what is you? Right? Right? Now, what y'all gotta remember is I'm talking to him. The door is in between us. He's inside his cell, locked in. I'm outside his cell. But I'm standing like where his door is built, it's a little crack right there. So if you put your ear to that crack, you can hear this person clearly and they can hear you clearly, right? So I'm standing there, I'm not looking at him, I'm listening to him, and I'm listening to the tone in his voice. You know what I'm saying? And the aggression, like full-fledged, full court press, right? And I forget who I'm talking to, and I I take that stance like you're not even a Crip. Who is you? Like, right? So he tell me that he's a BGF. He tell me he's BGF, right? Black Gorilla Family. So I'm like, all right, what that mean? Right? So when I say that, then I look inside the cell and I see this old, shrivelly, old 72-year-old man who he's not sitting in his wheelchair at this time, he's standing up, right? Now, if he stand up for a certain amount of time, he gonna start shaking. His legs is gonna start going out on him, right? Now, he's standing there shaking like I don't know what, and I start feeling bad because I'm like, did I intimidate this old man this bad where he's shaking in his boots like this right now? But that wasn't him being scared. That was him wishing he was 25 years younger so he can test my hands. That was him with anger. That wasn't scaredness at all. That old man wasn't scared at all. His mind was still on warrior mode, right? Just his body and age wasn't. They didn't agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? So he was always mad, you know what I'm saying, about something. So that was my introduction to old man Andy, right? After that introduction, he didn't want nothing to do with me. Now remember, where I work at, I feed everybody, and part of my job description is actually to take care of the people. Like if somebody came there in a wheelchair and you had a physical disability, part of my job description is to help them. So if that person is in a wheelchair and they need to get pushed around, I'm the person that's pushing them around everywhere, from medical back to their cell to, wherever they was going. So bam. Being that this old man was in a wheelchair, he always needed somebody to push him, right? But not me. He had a ban on me, and I was cool with that, right? So for the longest, they would never ask me to go push him nowhere. But this one particular day, my boss called me in the office. He like, hey man, he laughing and shit, right? Hey man, look, we already know you gonna try to turn it down, but don't nobody else want to do it. He been punking everybody. We know he ain't gonna punk you. So as soon as they say that, I'm thinking old man Andy, Anderson. They like, yeah, man, you gotta go get him. I'm like, so they laugh and they thinking it's funny, it's a joke. So bam, all right. So bam, I go out. As soon as I get over there to where he at, he see me. He like, I ain't called you. What they send you over here for? I ain't called you, right? So I'm like, look, OG, listen. You think I wanted to come over here? I didn't want to come over here. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know, like, you want some other stuff when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. I just like certain people pushing me and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Right? So me and him sit there, we actually hollered back and forth. So now he like, all right, you can push me. Right? So while I'm pushing him, he going through his many rows of things to do and not to do. When he say stop, that means stop immediately. or he gonna stick his foot inside the spoke on the wheel. Hey, I swear to God, right? This old man was cold. And I remember one time him being in the cell and him jumping out his wheelchair because he like, you think I'm old and decrepit, don't you? So I'm like, I didn't say that. You said it, right? He like, nah, but I know you think it. He like, well, look, let me show you something. He jumped out that wheelchair and he start, look, when he hop out the wheelchair, if you ever seen him hop out that wheelchair and try to walk, he gonna walk with a limp and slow as I don't know what, right? That day he hopped out that wheelchair, he was inside his cell when he showed me this. Hopped out that wheelchair, start walking like that. He like, yeah, I ain't old decrepit, and he straightened up his walk. He started walking like normal. I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, yeah. He said, I'm waiting on the young one to try me, right? So I remember him showing me that. But anyway, um, he go back to not liking me, right? So bam, one day we in the day room. It's a whole bunch of young dudes that I used to work out with in the day room. We all out there working out. You know what I'm saying? He come out in his wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever. He got this little net thing tied to the back of his wheelchair, and he had some top ramens in there inside the little net thing on his wheelchair. Well, I guess he forgot he had the top ramens on the back of his wheelchair, so he go to his cell. He look in there. He turn around. He stand up out his wheelchair and he approaching. He telling all the young dudes this right after we finished working out. They over there pumped up already, right? Right. So he like, yeah, y'all that thirsty, y'all that hungry, well, y'all was steal from an old man. Which one of y'all little thieving asses went in my cell and stole them top ramens off my sink? Right? He thinking that he left the food, the top ramens inside his cell. The whole time, them top ramens is tied to the back of his wheelchair inside the little net thing he had on there, right? So one of the young dudes like, man, who you talking to? Who you think you talking to, right? Right? So another one like, hey, OG, you talking about them top ramens on the back of your wheelchair? So he looked, he like, oh, right? Straight to the wheelchair, pushed himself in. So I'm telling him like, hey, OG, it's not cool to keep getting at these young dudes like that, bro. You keep rolling up on everybody like he was doing that to Mexicans and all. The Mexicans laughed it off because they see him as a very, very old man that was disturbed. You know what I'm saying? So they not taking anything personal that he say because they know he's a senior citizen for real, for real. He just had a mouth on him that he had the mouth of a 25-year-old spring chicken, but he was 72 years old. And just because he showed me that he can walk straight because he hopped out that wheelchair don't mean nothing. Like I done seen old dudes get socked up. You know what I'm saying? Despite that, I done seen dudes do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, he had went back to not liking me. So um, he had stopped talking to me, of course, which was fine by me. Anytime I didn't have to interact with that old man was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just doing a lot of weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? Women to come around, he'd be asshole naked inside his cell. You know what I'm saying? There was a whole bunch of complaints about that. You know what I'm saying? They were saying they'd go inside his cell and search his cell and find used condoms. But he was in the cell by himself. So, hey, I never tried to figure it out. But they was finding used condoms in this 72-year-old man's cell. So, but anyway, yeah, man. The old dude, old Andy, was conniving. Now he wanted to get me fired from my job because like he liked certain people to push him around in his wheelchair, right? He didn't like me from the get go from our first interaction. You know what I'm saying? So being that he would get an attitude with you about this or about whatever, you know what I'm saying? He'd make you a target. So he was trying to get me fired from my job by complaining that I wasn't I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do when it came to the ADA workers. You know what I'm saying? What we were supposed to be like pushing them around and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, making sure they get out for their phone calls and all that, right? So he went as far as one day I sat and I watched. I watched how he set this whole play up, right? I'm standing in the hallway. I'm actually walking through the hallway. And while I'm walking through, he's getting into a confrontation with one of the COs, which happened to have been my boss, my immediate boss, right? They going back and forth. They arguing with each other. The old man is telling him that as a person that was ADA, and he actually had a job, he was supposed to get out his cell um, every couple of hours. Basically, he wanted to be out on the hours that I was out working. And they was like, no, you only can be out a certain amount of time. We don't need you for nothing else. And so he's trying to argue this, right? So bam, he gets so mad. So now I'm hearing this confrontation as I'm walking by. So I stop, slow down. I'm listening. You know, I'm ear hustling. Bam. So I stand there and I watch. So they argue back and forth, him and my boss. So my boss tell him, look, either you go back in or you come over here to this other day room section. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna lock you up in there. You know what I'm saying? So he like, man, get out my way. I'll go to the other day room. Get out my way, right? So he was willing himself over to the other section, right? As soon as they opened up the door, now it's plain as day. They opened up the door. He sat there and watched them open. Everybody sat there and watched them open up the door. This old crazy dude wheeled himself right into the wall. Bow! Like he couldn't see. So that was the point that he was trying to prove. I was supposed to be pushing him. Being that I wasn't pushing him, he was willing himself. You know what I'm saying? He pushed himself into the wall on purpose. Right? So my boss like, really? Really? Are you really going to try to pull that one? Right? Shut he cussing him out, right? Tell him to shut the F up and this and that. Whoa, 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 right? So he wheeled himself back, then he turned and he wheeled himself finally up in there, right? So as soon as he get in there, one young dude run over there and try to help. He's like, let go of my wheelchair, let go of my wheelchair. I got this. Where was y'all at 5 minutes ago, right? I'm like, he cold. So that was all part of his little plan to try to get me fired, man. That's how much he hated me. But I remember, I'm gonna tell y'all about this one last incident with old man Andy, man, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, I don't want to hold y'all up too long. I just wanted to bring the story to y'all because it was a crazy and it was humorous at times, and other times it was just like, I can't wait for him to leave. You know what I'm saying? But I remember this other time, um, I'm out working. I'm over in the B section, right? And I'm standing there hollering at one of my boys from the Bay Area about something at his cell. I'm standing at his cell talking to him through his door. And I remember while I'm standing there, I hear like this loud and long elongated fart. A loud, long, consistent fart, right? That went for a long time. And I'm standing, I'm listening, and I'm like, is that what I think I'm hearing? Right? So as soon as it stopped, that's when I start smelling something. So I'm like, these dudes gotta be over here using the bathroom and not flushing their toilet or nothing. And they don't usually like when somebody inside they cell using the bathroom, they gonna have their window blocked up. The window wasn't blocked up. I'm smelling fresh boo boo. Fresh boo boo. You know what I'm saying? So it's hitting me hard. So I look over in the cell next door to the dude that I was hollering at, because I'm like, they can't be up in here like this. So I'm finna tell them about themselves, right? But nah, both of them is in the bed sleep. So I'm like, where the hell is smell coming from? Now I look down, a couple of cells down from me is old man Andy, right? He's out there with me. He's at somebody's door, but he's a couple of cells down from me. He's down there talking to them. So look, I'm like, nah, they ain't no way in here. Nothing like that came out that little bitty old man. No way. So I'm standing there talking, and I hear that sound again. Now this time, when I'm hearing it, I look down, and he's standing there holding on to the door, and he got a look on his face, right? I swear to God, like he was lost in space, holding on to that door and letting it go, right? So as soon as he stopped, and then it was another long fart, right? As soon as it stopped, you heard, right? So I'm like, so when that happened, he immediately turned around. He didn't have his wheelchair that day or none of that. He immediately turned around and tried to run to his cell. While he's running to his cell, he calling for the CO in the tower, right? Lopez, Lopez, right? He calling for him. So while he run by, that's when I smell it. It hit me hard, and then he's leaving a trail of the runs, right? Going down his leg onto the floor all the way into his cell. Now, somebody told me that he was taking a colonoscopy that day, and they had gave him some stuff. You know what I'm saying, to drink, I guess, to help him use the bathroom, right? So I guess that stuff was still affecting him. But while we was out there, this fool hated me so much, he trying to slide out a fart, and the whole time he boo-booing on himself. You know what I'm saying? The second one just I couldn't believe it. The old man Andy left a trail. So he know I know this. Now he really don't like me. He really hate me, right? So he had done something crazy one day. I can't remember what it was. It was with one of the female nurses though, right? He probably was in there naked or something like always did when a female was around. So I remember going to the other BGF members that was there, talking to them about this old man and what he had going on. This is after everything. This ain't even during the time. This is long after he accused me of actually going talking about him. Right now, I'm actually doing it because he's a problem. He's becoming an issue. So the BGFs is basically telling me like we have we have hollered at him about the things he was doing, the things he's been saying, and this and that. We've banned him from this. We've banned him from that. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they was like they was tired of talking about him. You know what I'm saying? And to do whatever dudes wanted to do with it, right? I'm like, wow. So bam. So then now he know that I went and hollered at them about him. But now I'm like, yeah, I went and hollered at him. I went and told him, right? Oh man, it ain't like that. This is what happened, and this and that, and blah 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 blah, right? Now he starts saying that he's from Watts. That's when I found out he was from Watts. He really was from Watts. But he fell up under the jailhouse uh, structure, the BGF, Black Gorilla Family, right? So bam, bam, everybody is getting on him because once I found out he was from Watts, I'm hollering at the homies from Watts and Compton. They like, man, they like this dude's 72 years old, bro. Like we would hate to have to put some politics on him and this and that. No, you don't have to. Just holler at him and tell him to stop doing the things that he's doing because they smacking us all over the head. Anything this old man do, we gonna have to pay for it. They not gonna go mess with him because how he lived in the cell, he lived filthy. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they was going in there finding used condoms and all kind of. He lived filthy in that cell. You know what I'm saying? So instead of them messing with him, they would go tear up all our stuff, mess with us. You know what I'm saying? And let us know, hey, the old man, could nobody, really control him up until that time when everything started crashing down on him. And all the people went and hollered at him about the same thing. And he finally like shut it down, but he hated me. He hated me. He wanted me dead or alive. It didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, right is right. You know what I'm saying? Wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? But he eventually straightened up his act until he ended up leaving that yard. They finally sent him to a medical treatment facility where he was disabled like that. He was that old. He really was. You know what I'm saying? The man been in jail 50 some years, 72 years old. You know what I mean? Stuck in every way that he possibly can hold on to. You know what I'm saying? And utilizes his old age to his advantage when he can against whoever. I promise you that. But yeah, man, that's the story of old man Andy. You know what I'm saying? The BGF, the OG BGF guy. You know what I'm saying? That wanted to see me up under the earth. You know what I mean? Because you know the old man was like a bull. Once he had you locked in, you was locked in until he was pretty much tired of having his way with you as far as being able to talk to you like a dog and if you allowed it, if you went for it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go for it. You feel me? But I also had to remember he was an old man, 72 years old, just had a mouth on him. You feel me? But yeah, that's the story of old man Andy, man. Like I said, I didn't want to hold y'all up too long. I just wanted to bring this to the round table. You know what I mean? We've been off for a couple of days. Of course, we have to take those extra days off to repower back up to be able to come back to y'all even stronger. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you all, man, for joining me back at this round table for another crazy prison story of old man Andy. You know what I'm saying? The 72-year-old black gorilla family guy. You know what I'm saying? That you know, that didn't like me at all. You know what I mean? Thank you all, though, man, for taking the time out to come listen to this crazy story. I appreciate you all, man. To the next time we meet at this round table, y'all stay safe out there. Continue to love each other. Triple gang.